Oh man. Oh man. So what has my coach, what has he been up to other than forcing Megan out there to teach the minions about financial illiteracy? Yes. And I mean ill as in ILL, as in sick literacy, financial literacy from Megan. Is that right? And he's talking about sharing some of the tips and some of the insights from their success. Is that right? Okay. Now, is that a success that has led them to exaggerate their property, the value of their property, the size of their property, the usefulness, the utility of their property? Is that right? Okay, that's the literacy that we're talking about. Is that right? What else has he been talking about? Is he trying to force people over to the Resurrection Ranch to watch the empty, the repetitive, the redundant, the ridiculous content that they're trying to generate? That Tim's the one that's forcing that issue. Okay, but Tim is trying to generate content for the Resurrection Ranch because he just won't let it die. He just won't let it die, yes? Okay, so not only did he move the Resurrection Ranch, supposedly physically, I don't know how physically you can move a ranch, but not only did he physically move the Resurrection Ranch over to the IAG property, but now I guess they're giving you guys some type of reflection on their success with the Resurrection Ranch LLC. Is that right? Okay. What else? So what else has he been up to? Not much else? Well, all right. Welcome back to the Endgame, where today I'm going to give you guys my reaction to the recent IAG Farms video where Tim talks about the most epic vacation that you have ever seen. Now, bear in mind, he already threatened you guys. With 8 to 10 videos of them heading down to Tallahassee. 8 to 10 videos, yes? Okay? That does not include the videos of them being at the lake house in Tallahassee, yes? And then, of course, ultimately they work their way to Orlando, to Disney World, I believe, I assume. Yes? But he talks about the most epic vacation. And oh, by the way, before he shows you the vacation, he has to show you them preparing for vacation. Is that right? Okay. And I understand that he used an example of the Florida State game, which occurred around August 30th, to give you guys a little bit of an idea of where they are in real time. A little bit. Why don't you just tell the viewer straight up? Yes. Why are we withholding information? Okay. You guys already went on your vacation. Okay. There is no threat of your viewers meeting you at the gates of Disney World. Yes. There's no threat of someone wandering or creeping onto your property while you are gone and actually cleaning up that trash heap. Yes. There are no threats anymore. Yes. And so why are you still withholding information on when, as far as when you guys actually went? Yes. Now, I thought he said June 12th. Now, I thought, well, maybe he said July 12th. Okay. And based upon when that Tallahassee or when that Florida State game was, supposedly, you guys were down there somewhere around August 30th. Yes. Which would imply that this vacation content is only going to be 1 month old. Okay. We'd like to believe it, Coach. We definitely would like to believe it. But I guess Tim is getting ready to roll out. He's finally getting ready to roll out these videos. And so I'm going to give my reaction to that recent video here. All right. So early in the video, we have to suffer through a good 5 minutes. 5 minutes in the kitchen. Okay. Mostly silent minutes. Oh, my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, Tim, is this the new habit? Is this how you're innovating on stretching the content? 5 minutes with barely any dialogue. okay, of Megan in the kitchen making coffee. Yes. Okay, and she's pouring the coffee. Yes. We get to see her pouring that coffee for about 2 minutes. Yes. We get to see little Benjamin walking around. Yes. Okay, and Megan eventually gets around to pouring the coffee. Yes, there's 2 coffee cups. Yes. And of course, one of the coffee cups is chipped. Yes. Now, beggars can't be choosers. Yes. When you're collecting donations, okay, when you're using cups that have been donated, you can't be choosy. Yes. Okay, but there's 2 coffee cups. Why does Tim get the good coffee cup and Megan gets the one that's chipped? Yes. What kind of man? What kind of husband? Okay, honey, you take the one that's defective. You take the cup that's defective, Megan. Okay, you go ahead and risk lacerating yourself, cutting your lip, bleeding out, Megan. Yes? Okay, because by the time I call the ambulance, you will have bled profusely, yes? Because, of course, I have to get it on tape first, Megan. I have to get you cutting your lip, and then I have to get you falling to the ground. Then I have to get you bleeding. And then eventually I say, okay, all right, cut. And then I can go call the 911. But good gracious, why does she have the raggedy old cup? And then also, Megan talks about the black coffee and getting adjusted to drinking the black coffee. Yes. And of course, Tim says, well, no, now we're accustomed to it. And I'm like, okay, of course. Needless to say, apparently it's part of the programming, Tim. And if you force your wife to drink black coffee, eventually her body, her palate will get adjusted to it. Yes. By her choice? Not so sure about that, Tim. But good gracious. And so early we get the 5-minute, it's not an intro, but there's no real dialogue. It's just, I don't know, about 3 or 4 sentences. And then we see little Benjamin in there climbing up on the stove. Yes. And then they talk about their modes. They get into this discussion about the modes. And it's like, they're grasping at straws. And how can we fill up this content? How can we fill up this 5 minutes? And so with little Benjamin pulling up on the stove, Tim claims he's doing pull-ups. All right. Okay. And then Tim says, oh, he's in beast mode. Okay. And then Tim tries to imply, well, his nickname is beast mode. Of course, Megan is off camera at this point. Yes. And of course, Megan certainly should have been cringing when her husband threatened to nickname her son, her baby boy, Beast Mode. Yes. But at this point, Megan, I guess you just have to go along for the ride, Megan. Yes. Whatever he says for the sake of the content. Okay. Whatever he babbles about for the sake of the content, for the sake of the YouTube, you just have to go along with it. Yes, Megan. And so he's talking about nicknaming little Benjamin Beast Mode. What kind of, yes? That's just like nicknaming your kid Demon Child. Yes. Nickname him Demon Child. See how that works out for him during his childhood. See how that works out for him during his formative years. Yes. And so in the same way that you would not, hopefully you wouldn't nickname your kid Demon Child. We hope that you would not truly nickname him Beast Mode and have him carry that name with him through his childhood, through his teenage years, etc., etc. Yes. Okay. Strong words, yes. We do know that words have power. And of course, you being a former ex-pastor, supposedly, you understand the value. You understand the power of words, yes? But tell us more, Tim. Tell us more.
No. Wow.
Thank you. One cup of beautiful black coffee.
There you go.
Never would have thought that we'll be them old folks that drink black coffee.
Oh, I know. It's good, too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they say, it's an acquired taste. And now we can barely drink coffee with creamer. Really, we can't.
We're special,
Yeah, we had.
when we're chilling, when we're in rest mode.
That's right. Yeah.
Beast mode has to have a black cup of coffee, huh?
There you go.
What are you doing? What mode are you in?
He stay in beast mode.
What is he? Exercise?
That's his nickname.
No.
Beast mode. He doing pull-ups.
I see.
All right, next up, Tim talks about it being a monumental day. Yes? I'm like, okay, all right. Tim talks about them going from being in beast mode to being in rest mode. Yes? And of course, it's well rehearsed. Yes? We don't know how many takes it took. We don't know how many takes it took. Just like when Tim was teaching a tutorial. Tim teaching a tutorial. We don't know how many takes it took. Okay, but at this point, at least what he shared with us after his editing, pretty much all the boys said it on cue. Of course, Megan said it on cue, and going from beast mode to rest mode. Yes. And so Tim talks about the fact that they spent 3 to 4 months working on the siding of the house. But I must have lost track of time. I thought it was like a month in real time. I thought it was a month. He's telling us it was 3 to 4 months working on the siding? Is he talking about 3 to 4 months of the videos? I lost track along the way, yes? Okay. Don't tell him I stopped watching the videos. Don't tell him I stopped watching along the way, yes? But I lost track along the way, yes? Have they been showing those siding videos for 4 months now? Is that really what they've been doing with the content? Is that right? Oh, my goodness. All right. But he talks about the fact they've been working hard and they're about to go into, and he says, well, no, when he talks about going into rest mode, he said, well, hey guys, where do we go? And they say, well, first of all, he talks about going from being in beast mode to being in rest mode. Now, bear in mind, this video is shot well after they got back from Disney World. Okay. And so the boys are not going into rest mode. They're back into the supposed farmhand mode. Yes. Okay, so talk about confusing the situation. I'm sure in a moment you're going to complain about your viewers being confused yet again. When you're the one that's creating the confusion. Even for your own boys. Okay, so they're like, okay, we're about to go into rest mode, but we already went into rest mode a month ago, and now we're about to go back in supposed beast mode to try to work on it. And good gracious, Tim, yes? All for the sake of content, Tim? But show us more. Show us more.
All right, y'all, for today's IAG Sneak Peek IAG exclusive, we had to bring the whole family together because this is a monumental day. This is a monumental episode. And I want y'all to understand that we're switching from something called beast mode to what?
Rest mode!
We're switching to rest mode. And where did we go?
Disney World!
We went to Disney World. Y'all buckle up. Y'all get ready because IAG Farms has went to Florida, has went to Disney World, and we had an amazing time. And today is just going to mark that point of us switching from the intense 3 months, 4 months of doing siding on our house, ripping down. I don't really think y'all really understand how hard we've been working over the last 3 months, because I know in video time on the videos, the things that we've been doing may have looked easy, but I've been working. This has probably been the hardest that I've ever worked in my life, 3 month stretch. And this is a difficult project, ripping down all that siding, putting up all the new siding, roofing, and just all the other things that we've done. We've gotten all of our animals prepped as far as in video time. Y'all know in real time, we've already did all these things, went on vacation and everything.
All right. Once again, Tim is talking about this is the hardest that he's ever worked in his entire life. Well, that's obvious. that's obvious, Tim. You're stating the obvious, yes? But he's talking about tearing down all the old siding, putting up all the new siding. We're like, hold on, Tim. You still have one end, at least the peak of one end, the fecal end of the mobile home, and then you have the backside of the mobile home that still has not been sided in real time, Tim, yes? Okay, I know it can be confusing for you, Tim, yes? But do not deliberately distract your viewers, okay? Talking about putting up all the new, you didn't put up all of it, yes? Okay, you may have put up about 60% of it. We'll say 60%. We'll say 60% of the side, yes? Which is normally about where you tap out. Yes? He didn't make it to 60% at Grandma Lily's over there at the Unamazing Grace. It didn't have a chance at being amazing until she dismissed Tim. Is that right? And he definitely didn't do 60%? Well, I guess for his own house, apparently Tim is willing to go the extra measure. He's willing to go into beast mode and actually do 60% of the work. 100% of the time. Oh my goodness. But good gracious. Now even Tim gets confused. Okay, so he's talking about, oh, well, we're doing farm prep. We're getting the animals ready. So, no. We already did the farm prep. We already got the animals ready. And I'm just referring to where you guys are at in the video. Tim, okay, the viewers are not the only ones that are confused. Yes? I'm sorry. And your heavies are not the only ones that are befuddled. Yes? Okay? Even though it's intentional on their pastor's part. But tell us more, Tim. Tell us more.
But we're just hyping y'all up for the video, time things. But we got all the animals ready. We got the house ready and everything. And now y'all are going to begin to see the videos of us and the process of us getting ready to go to Disney World and going to Disney World and enjoying that whole process. Boys, y'all excited for this?
Yeah!
Y'all excited for them to see these videos?
Yes!
Because we've been going back and forth and watching the footage.
All right, and so Tim, with his good gracious, with his ignorance of time, yes, we do understand that in the past he was proud of the fact that they didn't go by calendar time. But good gracious, now Tim is talking about real time. He created this term real time. Okay, and we do know that real time is at least a couple of weeks behind actual time. And now he's talking about this video time. Now this video time, yes? So there's actual time, there's real time, and now there's video time. Good gracious, Tim. Talk about the manipulation. Okay? Talk about the mess that is the content. The IAG content, Tim. Good gracious. But he asked the boys, hey, are you guys excited about this? And of course the boys are like, yeah. And of course, he has to change. No. Are you excited about us releasing these videos? And the boys like, I guess, yeah. Okay. All right. Now, the boys were excited about going on vacation. Of course, Tim, he gets confused himself. And now he's talking about the boys being excited about him releasing the videos. Good gracious, Tim. But tell us more.
And looking at the pictures and all those things. And we still have not really fully I want to say recovered, but the word is not recovered. I want to say
it hadn't all sunk in.
It hadn't all sunk, exactly, yeah. I don't think the vacation that we took is going to fully sink in until we see the videos, edit the videos. Sometimes it's like when we had put the video out about something, it's almost as if it hadn't happened yet.
We see the video and we're like, oh yeah, we did that. That's right.
That's right. We forget all about we went on vacation. It's like, oh yeah.
Next up, Tim talks about recovering from the vacation. Yes, and there's a man that has never taken his family on a vacation before. How is it that you're recovering from the vacation? That's a contradiction of terms. Good gracious. Good gracious. And then he asked Megan for a better term, yes? And Megan, he's talking about recovering from the vacation, and Megan tossed out another term and whatnot. And she's talking about, well, it just hasn't sunk in completely, yes? Now, the main reason why it has not sunken in is because those boys were still on duty. Okay, they were away from the farm, so they didn't have farm chores. But as far as being child actors, they were still on duty. They still had rehearsals. They still had scripts, yes? They still had performances that they had to execute. Yes, and of course we know Megan absolutely was on duty. All right. As far as her executing the scripts and carrying out whatever image Tim wanted to portray that particular day or that particular moment. Yes. Okay. And then obviously Megan had to care for the 4 boys. All right. And so now if Tim is recovering from anything, it's that he spent, when he said it's the hardest he ever worked, and he was talking about working on Emma/Hemma, the raggedy old extra long shed. Okay, when he's talking about working on Emma and it being difficult, second to that has to be the work that he had to put in down on the vacation, because Tim clearly had to spend the most time with his boys, with his children, with his kids that he has ever had to do before. I'm sorry. And certainly for a man not accustomed to caring for kids, not accustomed to being a father, not accustomed to being a proper head of the household, certainly that will be exhausting. And certainly we can understand why Tim would say that he needs to recover. He needs to recover for having to deal with those boys day in and day out with little to no escape. It's likely that he did slide off. Did he slide off and escape from Megan at some points? Did he have to make a grocery run or a snack run and use that as an excuse for him to escape? For him to slither? Oh, well, it's likely. Well, all right. Tell us more, Tim. Tell us more.
The seasons going from this beast mode season into rest mode. And listen, we were on vacation. We were still saying beast mode because we were still in beast mode. We found ourselves like grunting and growling on vacation, doing things, just playing around. But y'all, look, go ahead.
Like when Tyus was swimming across the whole entire, Dad was like, Bismarck, you get.
Oh yeah, the boys were swimming. So get ready for pool parties. The sneak peek video, the video that y'all gonna see. The sneak peek of today is going to be of us getting ready, going to get the rental car, cutting hair, getting haircuts, packing up the vehicle. We realized that it's like getting a brand new 2025 like Ford Expedition rental car. It showed us how much we love our, like even the whole vacation really, because we enjoyed our vacation, but coming back from vacation and getting back to the farm, it really showed us how much we love like our real lives. Mm-hmm. Like the pool house and the lake house and the resort neighborhoods were all good, but we were still like right next to somebody else. Mm-hmm. And we didn't have as much space as we have now. And so vacation was good, but it also showed us how much we love our real lives. The 2025 Ford Expedition was good, but when Megan was packing it, she was thinking like,
it is not the same trunk as the excursion. It's just so much more space in the excursion as far as like seating. And the trunk probably is like at least twice as big as the trunk that I was working with. So I got everybody packed, but it was a scrunch. Like we just pushed.
All right. Tim talks about, he tries to imply that when they were on vacation, they were still in beast mode. They were still grunting and groaning. Talk about being an example for your boys. Who was grunting? Who was groaning? Good gracious. But Tim talks about as they get ready for this monumental day of them releasing the long-awaited. Who was waiting for it? Was it the steady Tim supporters? Was it the ready Tim riders? Was it the heavies? Heavies, were you guys waiting for them to release these vacation videos that are at least a month old? You guys were waiting for this? Is that right? But he says, okay, now we're releasing the videos, but of course we have to start out with us preparing for the vacation. Yes, they had to start with us preparing, cutting heads. Yes, I have to show you videos of me actually doing some barbering of the boys' heads. Yes, I have to show you guys us picking out a rental vehicle. Yes, and then of course I have to show you guys us criticizing the vehicle. And I can't believe he actually put Megan up to criticizing the brand new Expedition as compared to that raggedy old Excursion with the 350,000 miles. Yes? How could she compare the Expedition and say that it lacked, okay, that it was somehow inferior to that raggedy old Excursion? Talking about, well, the Excursion has more space in it. Well, yeah. Bigger vehicles have more space. There's nothing special about that. But you're going to criticize it and you're just trying to build up Tim's situation. That's kind of like when Tim was saying, well, the reason why things are going unkept and unfinished on the mobile home is because we're just like any other house. Even on a brand new house, things will go unfinished. Yes. And so now, Megan, you're talking about, well, okay, we should be grateful that we have the Excursion as far as it being a better vehicle than the Expedition. What kind of programming are we talking about here, Megan? Yes. I mean, it's similar to how Tim has convinced you that space next to the mobile home, next to Hema, that space in front of the fecal fields, in front of the leach fields, is being reserved for your stick house, for the house that Tim one day will build for you, someday will build for you. Yes. Although you've been waiting for it for at least a good 5 years now. Yes. And the question is, why has Tim not built that house yet? Is it that he's focusing all his energy on trying to convince you that the mobile home, the single wide mobile home, the sardine can of a mobile home that you have now is sufficient? Is he trying to convince you that that's sufficient? It's just like him trying to convince his viewers that supposed garden to come that the pigs are preparing will be sufficient as far as them having a farm where they actually raise crops. Okay, forget about the fact that that area is smaller than the gardens that many people have in their own backyards in the city, in urban areas. People have more of a garden than that pig pen will actually represent. Why not more farming, Tim? Why not more farming? Well, let's take a look. Let's see why there is no IAG farm. Yes? Let's see why there are no crops being cultivated on that land. Yes? Why is it? Let's take a look. Okay, so when we look at the property, and this is on Google Maps, when we look at the property, first of all, we see that the property extends from this corner here in the southwest corner, down here behind what they call Ernest, the shed shack, and extends up in this direction. It extends up through the sheep pen, up through the paddocks. There's this area here where the Happy Camper was parked for a period of time, where Tim claims he's going to build some barns. It cuts through the pond, not his pond, but the pond, and it extends out to the street, yes? Okay? And so anything that you see over here to the left, that's the neighbor's property. Those are not Tim's pastures. Okay, yes? And then on the right side, on the east end, we see the property extends from just to the right of the mini barn, the original pigsty, yes? And it extends up behind, up through the fecal fields, up behind, but closely behind the mobile home, yes? That mobile home is pretty close to the property line, yes? Okay, I know you guys have been wondering for years, okay, how come they don't do anything behind the mobile home? How come they don't extend the area, the yard area behind? That's because it's not their property, yes? That belongs to the neighbors. All right, and although there are fence lines, bear in mind, fence lines do not define property lines. Okay, as I mentioned before, fences can be erected anywhere as long as they are on your own property. So don't get fooled by the fence lines. And don't be fooled into thinking that, okay, that's Tim's property. Okay, because it's inside the fence line. All right, that's just maybe where the neighbor decided to erect the fence. But there, the fence line extends up. Tim's property extends up. It goes past the parking pad. Extends up. You can see right here where they have the trees, the pine tree and the pecan tree that he cut down 3 years ago. You see the trash heap here of what used to be or what could have been firewood. Now it's just rotting wood that Tim will have to sort through, sift through in order to identify if any of it can be salvaged. 3 years later. But of course the property extends up here, and then up here as the property line extends, you can see what looks to be some white stuff. Now those oldies and some of you newbies, you guys should be able to clearly identify what this white stuff is. And I'll give you a hint. Okay, it's a pile. I'll give you a couple of seconds. Actually, it looks like a couple of piles. I'll give you another hint. It involved Cook and Du Bois. Yes? And so now, of course, most of you guys have recognized that this is the infamous trash piles, trash heaps. Yes, and then the property extends out here. So the question is, why was there never an IAG farm? Now, if we look at the property, we can see why. Of course, now down here in the corner near the mini barn, okay, that terrain slopes down. Okay, so that would not be an appropriate area for them to cultivate crops. Yes. As far as flat land, they have a little bit of flat land behind the Ernest, behind the shed shack Ernest. And so it makes sense that Tim claims that he's actually going to plant a farm, not a farm. He's going to plant a garden there someday. Now, the only other suitable area, now, if we look at this, sheep pen, sheep area, this minuscule pasture area, that area really needs to be reserved for the animals, yes? And so it would not be appropriate for him to do any actual planting of crops in that area. If anything, he could actually plant some crops potentially up in this area behind the pond or south of the pond. But of course, Tim already claimed that he was going to build a barn up there, build a tool shed or equipment shed. And he's going to park some of his heavy equipment in that area, yes? And so there are no plans to plant any crops there. If you go to the other side, go over to the east side of the raggedy old driveway where the trash heap is. Okay, a small portion of that is his property. Okay, it's wooded property. You would have to take down the woods, and you have to be serious about creating actual farm land. Okay, plantable land. Yes, land that he can actually plant some crops on. Yes. All right. So now the only real suitable area for planting any types of crops is this area that is currently being occupied by the poultry pen and the happy camper, the raggedy old happy camper. And of course, what he claims is the boys' play area. Now, bear in mind, that area is being reserved to keep Megan's dream of owning an actual house alive. Okay, it's being reserved. But this would be the actual only sizable area whereby they could plant some crops. Yes? And I think the moment that Tim decides that he's actually going to plant some crops that the boys are going to have to care for, that Megan's going to have to tend to, yes, the moment he makes that decision will probably be the same day that Megan starts up that raggedy old excursion. Okay? That's slightly better than a brand new expedition. That'll be the day she starts up that excursion. And she claims that she's going to take the boys out on a grocery store run. And she just keeps on running. Yes? It's wild. It's wild. No IG. No firm. That's why I can't take no more. I can't take no more. I can't take no more. That's it. That's it for my reaction to that recent IAG Farms video where Tim talks about monumental day of them finally releasing the vacation videos, which includes the pre-vacation. That's it. Please like, share, subscribe, chop it up in the comments. I want to shoot out some love to my current subscribers. Thank you for showing me that love. I do appreciate it. For those viewers that have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing so that we can continue to shine that light. Until next time.